No IQ required, just imagination and a desire to laugh. How you doing, everybody? I'm Chet Coppock. Welcome to the Daily Coppock right here on ChetCoppock.com. First of all, hey, we got to talk about the mistake by the lake, right? We got to talk about dear old Cleveland, Ohio. First of all, point number one, are they done burning LeBron James jerseys in Cleveland? Anybody who would burn a jersey is a perfect candidate to live in a mobile home. Number two, you know what? All the merchants crying the blues, singing the blues in downtown Cleveland, or by the way, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame really isn't all that much fun to tour. All these merchants screaming about LeBron leaving, what a turncoat he is. If LeBron was so valuable to all your businesses, why weren't you merchants giving LeBron 10% of the action? Case closed. End of Cleveland. And the comment by Dan Gilbert that Cleveland will win an NBA title before Miami? Yeah. And I'll run head-to-head against Barack Obama in 2012. Meanwhile, NBA odds. Hey, if you're like me and you're a degenerate gambler and you can't live on football Saturdays without laying 6.5 on Texas against Oklahoma State, I've got some advice for you. Here is VegasInsider.com. It's the first thing I read in the morning. First thing before Chicagoland radio and media. First thing I read before my website, the whole 9 yards. Now, check this out. Miami, with the arrival of Bosh and the King to tag team with Dwayne Wade, they opened up at 25-1. They've been bet down to 7-5. What does that tell you? Don't buy the hype. Don't buy the hype. Vegas right now is begging you. They're absolutely begging you. They're telling you that Miami's going to win an NBA title in a round. When it looks too easy, what do? You run the other way. I have a greater preference for the Los Angeles Lakers, sitting right now at 7-2, which is where they open. But do we want a value pick? We want a value pick. Yes, we do. It's right here in Sweet Home Chicago. Remarkably, the Bulls opened up at 18-1. They have been bet down to 25-1. 25-1. So if you're out in Vegas, you're at the MGM Grand, you're at Paris, you're at the Mirage, you're at Rio, doesn't make a darn bit of difference. If you want a good prop bet, get down on the Bulls at 25-1. But remember, it is a prop bet. If the Bulls lose, for heaven's sakes, don't torch my condo or my jersey number. All right. You know what? I'm sorry, but she's got a butt like plywood, and she's got no rack, and her skin just doesn't look that good. I don't want to be mean, but Cameron Diaz, if you're out there, put in a call to Joan Rivers and see where she gets her Botox done, all right? I went and saw this crummy film called Day and Night or Night and Day with Cameron Cruz and Tom Diaz or whatever, you know. Tom Cruise, Cameron Diaz. I know it's, you know, it's one or the other. The point is this, I thought there might be some cheery dialogue. I thought there might be some fun between the two of them. The movie is an absolute snore fest. It is a bore fest. In a summer of horrible movies, I mean, did you see John C. Reilly in Cyrus? I mean, that was awful. But I mean, this is abysmal. How Cruz is aging. How Diaz is aging. Well, Diaz, I can see why, because you know what? Diaz right now, whew, Danica Patrick would have been hotter in that movie than Cameron Diaz. All right, here it is. Something I live for every summer. And if you believe that, I've got some swell swamp property in Yuma, Arizona, just waiting for you. Tonight, the Home Run Derby. The Home Run Derby. Juiced baseballs. A bunch of guys I don't care about. Where's Brian Howard? Where's Albert Pujols? In Anaheim, California, trying to knock balls 336 feet, while Chris Berman is chanting, back, 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 but most of all, slobbering all over Joe Morgan, who will get his digs in at various ball players, and never cease to remind us that baseball was much better in 1981 than it is here in 2010. You know what? The time has come for Major League Baseball, really. Get rid of the Home Run Derby. Better yet, get rid of Berman. Better yet, get rid of Morgan. Morgan is the most self-absorbed broadcaster in the history of the industry, so help me, Katie Couric. All right, you know what? Hey, you know I'm not the biggest fan in the universe when it comes to the World Cup. But you know what? I got to congratulate these suckers. They must be doing something right. Yesterday, for that World Cup final between Netherlands and Spain, where they finally scored in the 415th minute, drew the largest global audience for any sports event in the history of the industry. I'm already thinking about the World Cup 2014. You know what I want to do? I want to run my own prop and get it up on VegasInsider.com. I don't know who this guy is. He must have scored the winning goal for Spain. That looks like my father before he passed away. But here's the drill. for the next World Cup in 2014, why don't we have an over-under on total goals scored by all teams in the World Cup? I'd make the OU about, what, 92, something like that? But I mean, think about this. Can you imagine baseball players playing at the pace soccer players were playing at yesterday when they went 119 minutes before Spain finally beat the Netherlands? It would never happen, for heaven's sakes. They'd call their agents. All right. Thank the good Lord, I had the pleasure to meet this man, shake his hand, listen to him do public address at Yankee Stadium. Somehow you thought he would never pass away, but he is now gone. Bob Shepard, nearly 100 years old, the longtime public address voice for the New York Yankees, billed and justifiably so as the voice of God, the finest public address announcer I have ever heard. Number 2, Derek Jeter. Number 2. They will never replace Bob Shepard. Not his class, not his poise, not his dignity. He was beyond polite. If you look in the dictionary under the word polite, you're going to see a picture of Bob Shepard. That's just how classy this guy was. By the way, Derek Jeter, so I'm told, is going to continue to have Bob Shepard on a recorded message announce his at-bats at Yankee Stadium. All right, here we go. If you haven't picked up your copy yet, shame on you. The best-selling book, Fat Guys Shouldn't Be Dancing at Halftime. I want to read from chapter 32. Excuse me while I kiss the sky. Learn the gospel of the funk according to the Hawk. I'll just give you a sample of some of the quotes from Hawk in the book. I love to piss off Cub fans. I want them to know I have one thing in mind when we play them. I want to kick their ass. Not bad. Listen, I could have made a heck of a lot more money doing network baseball, and I've had the choice. But I don't want to do that. You can't say put it on the board, yes, for both ball clubs. Finally, I don't like Barry Bonds. I have no interest in meeting him, but screw steroids. He may be the greatest baseball player of all time. The people here in Chicago or around the country who don't like Hawk, who think he's cornball, think he's too big a homer, they don't understand that Hawk Harrelson is color. Hawk is baseball's original mod man. The White Sox are lucky to have the guy. I'm glad they secluded him for 25 years in the booth. All right, we're going to wrap it up. Get your dancing shoes on. I wonder how many chicks over the years Usher Raymond has had. Usher, I can hear you, baby. Because tonight there's going to be a lot of sex. The man is just too cool for words. I mean, let's give it up. Let's give it up for Usher one time. The best thing I can say about Usher is this. He is the most prolific artist since Michael Jackson. Don't talk to me about Justin Timberlake. Justin Timberlake and the Jonas Brothers are for 13-year-old girls. This guy is the real deal. This guy is Friday Night SmackDown. This guy is Monday Night Raw on WWE. I'm Coppock. Check us out on Facebook. Check us out tomorrow on checkcoppock.com with the Daily Coppock. I'm out of here. So long, everybody.